At the beginning المين بوينتس اللي عايزين نتكلم فيها مع بعض النهارده. ايه النولج اللي انا محتاجها؟ At the beginning ايه المين نولج اللي لازم اكون انا عارفها عندي؟ At the beginning number of moles. How to calculate number of moles? Number of moles.
Mass over mole mass.
Mass over molar mass. And equal. بصوا يا شباب في النولج دي مهمة ركزوا قوي في اللي أنا هعمله دلوقتي. Number of moles is equal to mass over molar mass in case of solid. And equal number of molecules or particles over Avogadro's number 6.02 times 10 to the power 23 equal volume decimeter cubed over 22.4 at STB. ده هنا يعتبر for gas وهنا for particles. طب ما احنا عارفين دول. انا مشكلتي مش ان انت عارف دول او لا، مشكلتي ان انت بيكون معاك السؤال وانت مش عارف تحله برضه. طب اعرف ازاي احل الاسئله اللي عندي دي؟ في عندك كام واحد دلوقتي؟ انا قلت mass over molar mass. اوكي. والنولج الثانيه قلت number of molecules over Avogadro's وهنتكلم الديفرنس between الموليكولز والاتومز. volume decimeter cubed over 22.4 at STB. يعني ايه؟ مثلا for example لما اجي اقول هنا calculate the number of moles in each of the following. قمت قايل number 1 46 gram of sodium knowing that Na equal 23. Number 2
46 divided على 23.
اوكي هنقول دلوقتي الانسرز حالا. لما اجي هنا في number 2 اقول مثلا هنا calculate number of moles and 3.01 times 10 power 23 atoms of sodium. Number 3 48 decimeter cubed of oxygen gas at STB. في النولج دي ايه اللي انا بحسبه هنا؟ تعال نشوف مع بعض. انت بتقول ايه؟ Number of moles is equal to mass over molar mass equal number of molecules over Avogadro's equal volume decimeter cubed over 22.4. لازم تبقى عارف اليونتس. يعني هو مش شرط ان يقول لك the mass of sodium. لا هو انا لو قلت لك 23 جرام او قلت كيلو جرامز او تونز ما انت عرفت ان ده ماس. يعني في مشكله ناس معينه انا مش فاهم انا ما قاليش ماس. هو مش شرط ان يكتب ماس. ولما اقول لك 23 جرام يبقى انا اتكلمت بماس. طب لما اقول سنتيمتر كيوبد او مليليتر او ديسيمتر كيوبد او لتر كده انا اتكلمت بايه؟ بفوليوم. يعني النولج المهمه بالنسبه لي هنا انك تبقى فاهم ان في حاجات هتكون عندي جرام كيلو جرام او تونز يبقى بتكلم على ماسز وهيكون سوليدز. طب بيقول سنتيمتر كيوب مليليتر ديسيمتر كيوب لتر يبقى فوليوم. طيب في نولج كمان انك تبقى عارف ان السنتيمتر كيوب ايكوال مليليتر والاثنين دول لو عملتهم over 1000 to be liter or decimeter cubed. يعني لو بقول decimeter cubed او لتر الاثنين ايكوال. طب ايه كمان؟ لما اجي اقول هنا مثلا molecules او افترضنا ان بيتكلم على atoms او بيقول particles كل دي هعملها بافوجادروس. خلاص اوكي تعال نروح مع بعض. اول نولج بيقول ايه؟ 46 قال ايه؟ هنا ايه؟ جرامز يعني بيتكلم على ايه؟
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you talk in English, please?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Mass over molar mass. Number of moles is equal to mass over molar mass. Why? Because there is a mass, unit of mass, so we must use mass over molar mass. It's equal to 46, this is a mass, this is a given, over molar mass, 23, so it will be equal to 2 moles. This is number 1. Number 2, number of atoms or particles or molecules. So the number of moles is equal to number of molecules or atoms over Avogadro's number. So it is equal to 3.01 times 10 power 23 over 6.02 times 10 power 23. So it is equal to 0.5 mole. Why we are using Avogadro's number? Because we have atoms or molecules or particles the same. And there is difference between molecules and atoms. 48 decimeter cubed, so we have a volume. So number of moles is equal to volume decimeter cubed over 22.4 because it is at STP, standard temperature and pressure. So it is equal to 48 over 22.4. And the answer will be moles. So again, number of moles is equal to mass over molar mass in case of solid, and the units will be gram, kilogram, and tons. Number of moles is equal to number of molecules or particles or atoms over Avogadro's number, equal volume decimeter cubed over 22.4 at STP. And then we said that centimeter cubed is equal to milliliter. If we have centimeter cubed or milliliter, we must divide by 1,000 to be liter or decimeter cubed. This is number 1. Number 2, what is the difference between molecules and atoms? For example, if I have HCl, this is a molecule, NH3, a molecule, H2SO4, molecule. How many atoms? 2. How many atoms? 4. How many atoms? 4, 5, 6, 7. And if I have 4 and H3, how many atoms? Also 4, because this is a molecule that contains how many atoms? So there is no problem if we have any number before. If we have a molecule and we need to obtain number of atoms, for example, calculate the number of atoms. If we have 0.5 mole of, what do you want? Anyone asking? Again, number of moles, 0.5 mole of NH3. Calculate number of atoms and 0.5 mole of NH3. In this case, 0.5 mole is the number of moles, this is right, and we need to obtain number of atoms. If you want to obtain number of atoms, you must calculate number of molecules at the beginning, and then multiply number of atoms. Zay, I didn't understand. Number of moles is equal to mass over molar mass, equal number of molecules over Avogadro's, equal volume over 22.4. If you have number of moles multiplied by molar mass, you will get the mass. Number of moles multiplied by Avogadro's number, you will get number of molecules. Number of moles multiplied by 22.4, you will get the volume. So again, if you have the number of moles multiplied by molar mass to get the mass. Number of moles multiplied by Avogadro's 6.02 times 10 power 23, you will get number of molecules. Number of moles multiplied by 22.4, you will get volume at volume decimeter cubed at STB. Okay, so in this case, calculate the number of atoms if you have 0.5 mole of NH3. Number of atoms, and you have number of moles. So it must be multiply Avogadro's number to get molecules. And then for molecules, multiply number of atoms to get the atoms. شباب عايزكم تركزوا قوي في الحته اللي انا بقولها دي. يعني كل الكالكوليشنز اللي انا هعملها في المولز it depends on number of moles equal mass over molar mass. Number of moles equal molecules over Avogadro's. Number of moles equal volume decimeter cubed over 22.4. In case of solid, you have a unit, gram, kilogram, tons. So you have a mass over molar mass. Molecules, atoms, particles over Avogadro's. Volume decimeter cubed over 22.4. And in case of centimeter cubed or milliliter, they are equal. Over 1000 to be liter or decimeter cubed. يبقى دي الكونسبتس اللي لازم اكون فاهمها في الاول. Okay, this is number one. Number two, in case of you have the number of moles. Number of moles multiply molar mass to get the mass. Number of moles multiplied by Avogadro's number to get number of molecules. And if you need number of atoms, you will get molecules at the beginning. ما ننساش دي. Take care. You must get molecules first, multiplied by the number of atoms. In case of number of moles multiplied by 22.4, you will get volume decimeter cubed at STB. Okay. طيب في السؤال عندي بسأل على ايه؟ بقول calculate the number of atoms in 0.5 mole of NH3. You have number of moles. So number of moles multiplied by Avogadro's, you will get number of molecules. Multiplied by number of atoms, you will get the atoms. Who can answer? يبقى أنا كده هعمل إيه؟ 0.5 هتعملها multiply إيه؟ 0.5 هنعملها كده multiply مين؟
Avogadro's number.
Avogadro's number. When you multiply in Avogadro's number, you will get number of molecules. Type number of molecules multiply number of atoms, you will get the atoms. يعني انت عندك هنا 0.5 multiply 6.02 times 10 power 23. لو انا عملنا كده calculations اهي هيبقى 6.02 times 10 power 23 ده الافوجادرو's multiplied by 0.5 mole is equal to 3.01 times 10 power 23. دي كده انا جبت ايه number of ايه molecules. طب to get number of atoms اعملها multiplied by كام؟ NH3 how many atoms؟ NH3
3 multiplied by 4.
multiplied by 4. So multiplied by 4 to get atoms. يبقى take care نخلي بالنا يا شباب من knowledge دي. يبقى انا بقول هنا في الاول ان انت بتحسب number of moles mass over molar mass. Okay. number of moles molecules over Avogadro's, number of moles volume over 20.4. ودي قلت الموديل بتاعها say مثلا هنا 46 gram of sodium, number of moles is equal to mass over molar mass. Grams, it means mass over molar mass. 46 over 23. In case of 3.01 times 10 power 23 atoms, so number of atoms over Avogadro's. Okay. 48 decimeter cubed of oxygen at STB, volume decimeter cubed over 22.4. In case of centimeter cubed or milliliter, divide by 1,000. Okay, this is number one. Number two, if you have the number of moles multiplied by molar mass, you will get the mass. Number of moles multiply 6.02 times 10 power 23, you will get the molecules. If you need the number of atoms, get the molecules number one, and then multiplied by the number of atoms. Number of moles multiplied by 20.4, you will get volume decimeter cubed at STB. Type, calculate the number of moles, or if we have N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. If we have 14 grams of N2, what is the mass of NH3? Okay, try to think. 14 grams of N2, and we need to calculate the mass of NH3. طيب في النولج دي في نولج لازم تفهمها لكم وانا بحل اي حاجه تكون فيها more ratios. In more ratios, what can we do? At the beginning, 3 steps. Calculate the number of moles. Number 2, mole ratio. Number 3, get new moles, new mass from moles. Again, النولج اللي عندي هنا ايه؟ 14 grams of N2. And we need to obtain the mass of ammonia. Number 1, calculate number of moles. Gram, so we have mass. Number of moles of N2 is equal to mass over molar mass. Mass as 14. Molar mass from the periodic table or given that we have N equal 14. 14 times 2. Why we make it multiplied by 2? Because it is N2, not N. 14 over 14 multiplied by 2. So it equal to 0.5 mole. This is number 1. Number 2, mole ratios. 1 to 2. This means that number of moles of NH3 is equal to 0.5 multiplied by 2 is equal to 1 mole. Number 3, mass of NH3 is equal to number of moles multiplied by the molar mass is equal to 1 multiplied by molar mass of NH3, MR of NH3. Knowing that N equal 14, H equal 1. 14 plus 1 multiplied by 3 is equal to 17 grams. So it equal to 1 multiplied by 17 equals 17 grams. Again. أنا عايز الكل يركز معايا بليز يا شباب. النولج بتاعت الكالكوليشنز كلها depends on 2 rules. ايه 2 rules اللي عندي هنا؟ حاجتين. أول knowledge number of moles. اوكي عرفناها. هاخدها mass over molar mass in case of solid وعرفت جرام كيلوجرام tons. Equal number of molecules or atoms or particles over Avogadro's. Number of moles equal volume over 20.4. Knowledge number 2, number of moles multiplied by molar mass to get the mass, multiply Avogadro's to get molecules, and then to get atoms, multiplying the number of atoms, multiply 22.4 to get volume decimeter cubed at STP. Okay. طب ايه بقى موضوع المول ratios? If we have given for one element and we need to obtain unknown for the other one element or a compound. Okay. We have 14 grams of nitrogen and we need to obtain the mass of ammonia. Mass over molar mass to get moles. Number two, mole ratios 1 to 2. So the number of moles will be 0.5 multiplied by 2. New moles we obtained, then multiplied by the molar mass, and then you must know that molar mass, mass of 1 mole. يعني ايه؟ يعني ال 2 هنا نستخدمها؟ لا. Molar mass is the mass of 1 mole. 14 plus 1 times 3, 17. قمت واخد هنا the number of moles 1 multiplied by 17 is equal to 17 grams. Type, try to do an exercise. If I set 14 grams of nitrogen, how many grams of hydrogen? Again, for nitrogen to obtain ammonia, mass over molar mass to get the number of moles is 0.5. Step number 2, mole ratios. 1 gives 2. Okay, so 0.5 will give 1 mole. After that, the number of moles multiplied by molar mass to get the mass. So it will be 17 grams. For nitrogen to obtain hydrogen, number of moles, mass over molar mass will be 14 over 14 times 2, 0.5 mole. And then mole ratios 1 to 3. Okay, so the number of moles, it will be 1.5 multiplied by molar mass, mass of 1 mole multiplied by 2. So it will be equal 3. Okay. شباب حد عنده أي مشكلة؟ يبقى 3 steps in mole ratios. Number 1, mass over molar mass to get moles. Number 2, mole ratios. 1 mole gives 2 moles, so 0.5 will give 1 mole. After that, the new moles multiplied by the molar mass. Another one. For example, في حد كان بيسأل على سؤال. Okay, what do you want? Another one. If we have C2H5OH plus 3O2 gives 2CO2 plus 3H2O. If we have 23 grams of ethanol and we need to obtain the volume at STB of carbon dioxide. Calculate the volume at STB of carbon dioxide, and you have a mass. In case of 23 grams, so we have mass, and we need to obtain moles. So number of moles, number of moles of C2H5OH is equal to mass over molar mass.
السلام عليكم. سلام.
Mass over molar mass. So molar mass of C2H5OH calculate the molar mass of C2H5OH, knowing that C equal 12, H equal 1, O equal 16. Equal كم? Try to make C2H5OH. You can write in the chat. Equal 12 multiplied by 2 plus 1 multiplied by 5 plus 16 plus 1 is equal to how many grams? 12 times 2 plus 1 times 5 plus 16 plus 1 equal, okay, 46 is right. Okay, 23 over 46 is equal to 0.5 mole. This is number one. Number two is the mole ratios. Mole ratios. 1 mole gives 2 moles. So the number of moles of carbon dioxide is equal to 0.5 multiplied by 2 is equal to 1 mole. Number three, volume decimeter cubed of carbon dioxide is equal to number of moles multiplied by 22.4. في نقطة مهمة لازم نعرفها يا شباب. لما أقول S2P standard temperature and pressure يعني لازم يكون 22.4 لأن كان في حد من زمايلكم بيسأل دلوقتي على ال RTP. RTP 24 لكن احنا بنتكلم على STP مش RTP. So multiply 22.4 equal number of moles is 1 mole multiplied by 22.4. So it is equal to 22.4 decimeter cubed. Type. In case of, if we have 23 grams, what is the number of molecules and what is the number of atoms of carbon dioxide? Try to make. يعني in case of, يعني خلاص دلوقتي أنا عملت أول knowledge إذا كان عندي هنا 23 grams and we need to obtain volume at STB. طب in case of, if we have 23 grams, what is the number of molecules and what is the number of atoms of carbon dioxide? Try to make now. يبقى knowledge اللي هحل بيها أي problem. Number one, to calculate number of moles. طب number of moles equal A? It depends on the givens. In case of mass, mass over molar mass. In case of volume at STB, يبقى هنا هناخد volume over 22.4. In case of molecules over Avogadro's. G number one, calculate number of moles. It depends on the givens. Number two, mole ratios. You have given for nitrogen, and you need to ask about ammonia, mole ratios. المول ratios بعرفها ازاي؟ من balancing equation, من balance 1 gives 2. So number of moles 0.5 multiplied by 2. Number three, you get number of moles multiplied by molar mass to get the mass. Multiplied by Avogadro's to get molecules. Multiply number of atoms to get atoms. Multiply 22.4 to get volume at STB. Okay. So again, in case of 23 grams, what is the volume? We made mass, molar mass, moles, mole ratios, and then multiplied by 22.4. In case of, to calculate molecules and atoms, if we have C2H5OH plus 3O2 gives 2CO2 plus 3H2O. 23 grams of ethanol. What is the number of molecules and what is the number of atoms of carbon dioxide? At the beginning, number one, number of moles of C2H5OH is equal to mass over molar mass is equal to 23 over 46 equals 0.5 mole. Number 2, mole ratios. 1 gives 2. So the number of moles of carbon dioxide is equal to number of moles multiplied by mole ratios, 0.5 multiplied by 2. So the mole ratio is 1 to 2. So it is equal to 1 mole. Number 3, number of molecules of carbon dioxide is equal to number of moles multiplied by Avogadro's. So it is equal to 6.02 times 10 power 23 molecules. And don't forget the units, moles, moles, molecules. Number 4, number of atoms is equal to number of molecules multiplied by the number of atoms. How many atoms in carbon dioxide? 3. And the answer will be atoms. In case of mole ratios, try to concentrate in mole ratios. In case of the first one, we have 14 grams of nitrogen and we need a mass of ammonia. So the first one, to calculate number of moles of nitrogen, mass that we have 14 over molar mass. The molar mass is 14 times 2. So it will be 0.5. This is number 1. So the first step to calculate number of moles, don't forget that. So number 1, to calculate number of moles. Number 2, mole ratios. N2 is reacted with 2 moles of NH3. So the number of moles, the numbers that written before the compound. So 1 mole is reacting with 2 moles. So mole ratios is 1 to 2. So the number of moles of ammonia is equal to the number of moles that we obtained from nitrogen multiplied by mole ratios multiplied by 2. After that, we have moles of ammonia multiplied by molar mass to get the mass. This is number 1. Number 2, if we have mass for ethanol and we need to obtain volume at STB for carbon dioxide, the first step to calculate number of moles of ethanol, mass over molar mass, 23 over 46. This is the molar mass, C2H5OH, C equal 12, H equal 1, and O equal 16. 12 times 2 plus 1 times 5 plus 16 plus 1 equal 46 grams. Okay, so it is equal to 0.5 mole. Then, number of moles of carbon dioxide is equal to 0.5 multiplied by 2. From where we get the 2? Mole ratios. 1 mole is reacted with 2 moles. So at the beginning, we calculate number of moles of ethanol. And then number 2, mole ratios is 1 to 2. Number 3, volume, number equal number of moles multiplied by 22.4. So it is equal to 1 multiplied 22.4. After that, we have 23 grams of ethanol and we need to obtain number of molecules and number of atoms of carbon dioxide. So number 1, mass over molar mass to get the moles of ethanol. Number 2, mole ratios, 1 to 2 to get the number of moles of carbon dioxide. Number 3, to obtain number of molecules, number of moles multiplied by Avogadro's. This is the number of molecules. After that, number of atoms is equal to the number of molecules multiplied by the number of atoms multiplied by 3. Okay. This for number 1, mole ratios. So for mole ratios, you must know that the concepts that are used, number of moles is equal to mass over molar mass in case of solid. How can we know this is a solid? Gram, kilogram, or ton. Number of moles is equal to number of molecules over Avogadro's number. 6.02 times 10 power 23. Number of moles is equal to volume decimeter cubed over 22.4. How can we know this is a mass? Gram, kilogram, ton. How can we know this is a volume? Centimeter cubed, milliliter, decimeter cubed, or liter. And in case of centimeter cubed or milliliter, divide by 1000 to obtain liter or decimeter cubed. Number 3, how can we know these are molecules? In case of molecules or particles or atoms, so we must use Avogadro's number, but take care if we have a molecules multiplied by number of atoms to obtain the atoms. This is number 1. Number 2, in molecules, how can we change molecules into atoms? Multiplied by the number of atoms. This 1 molecule contains 2 atoms. NH3 contains 4 atoms. H2SO4, 7 atoms, like that. Then, number of moles, if we have number of moles multiplied by molar mass to get the mass, number of moles multiplied by Avogadro's to get molecules, multiplied by number of atoms to get the atoms. And then number of moles multiplied by 22.4 to get volume at STP. In case of N2 to obtain the mass of NH3, 3 steps. First step, mass over molar mass to get moles. Number 2, mole ratios, 1 gives 2. So the number of moles, 0.5 multiplied by 2 to get the new moles. Number 3, number of moles multiplied by molar mass of ammonia to get the mass. And don't forget that molar mass is the mass of 1 mole. Then, in mole ratios, mass to volume. The first one is mass to mass. Then, mass to volume and the mass to number of molecules and atoms. In mass to volume, mass over molar mass to get the moles, mole ratios 1 to 2. After that, you will get the new moles of carbon dioxide multiplied by 22.4 to get volume decimeter cubed. The last one, mass to molecules. Mass over molar mass to get the moles. Mole ratios is 1 to 2 to get the molecules. After that, multiplied by the number of atoms to get atoms. Then, balancing equation. For balancing equation, you must know that in case of 2CaNO3 by 2, in case of 2CaNO3 by 2, you must know the number of atoms in these molecules. This compound consists of 2CaNO3 by 2. If I'm asking how many atoms of Ca, how many atoms of N, how many atoms of O, you must know that the number before compound is a common factor for all atoms inside. So we have 2 in Ca, 2 for N, 2 for O. After that, the number outside the brackets is common for the atoms or elements inside the brackets only. So for N, we have another 2. For O, we have another 2. In case of, if you have any number besides the element, for this element only, so for oxygen multiplied by 3. So the total number of atoms for Ca is 2. Total number of atoms of N is equal to 4. Total number of atoms for oxygen, 3 multiplied 2 is equal to 12. So again, number before compound is common factor for all elements inside. So 2 for all. After that, the number outside the brackets, common factor for elements inside the brackets only. So 2 and 2 for oxygen and nitrogen. The number besides the atom, it must be for this atom only, so multiplied by 3. After that, the total number of atoms in reactants equal total number of atoms in products. And also, if we have odd and even, we must to make odd change to be even. For example, balance the following equation. C2H5OH OH plus O2 gives CO2 plus H2O. Number 2. Fe2O3 plus O2 gives Fe or Fe2O3 plus CO gives Fe plus CO2. Number 3, CuNO3 by 2 gives CuO plus NO2 plus O2. Balance the following equations. You have 2 minutes and then we'll make. First one, C2H5OH plus O2 gives CO2 plus H2O. The number of carbons is 2, so we must have 2. Total number of hydrogen, 6 reactants. So we must have 6, so it will be 3 multiplied by 2. After that, total number of atoms of oxygen, 4 plus 3 equal to 7. So the total number of oxygen must be 7. We have 1 oxygen, so the remaining is 6 multiplied by 3. Again, balancing equation. Number 1, C2, so we must have 2. Total number of hydrogen, 6, so we must have 3. And then oxygen, 4 plus 3, 7. We have 1, remaining 6, 3 multiplied 2. Number 2, Fe2, so we must have 2. 1 carbon, 1 carbon. Oxygen, we have 4, we have 2, so we must have 2. But in this case, the number of carbon not equal 2 and 1. So we'll try another number. We'll make 3. If we have 3 and 3, so Fe is 2, 2. 3C, 3C. Number of oxygen, 3 and 3, 6. 3 multiplied 2 is equal 6. After that, Cu and O3 by 2, like that. Cu and O3 by 2. Cu and Cu. N is 2, so we have 2. Number of oxygen, 3 multiplied 2 equals 6. 4, 6, and 7. So the odd must be even. 1 equal 2. So this 2. 2 Cu, it will be 2. N, 2 multiplied 2 equal 4. O equal 12. 2 multiplied 3 multiplied 2 equal 12. 8, 10, 12. Balance the following equations. Try to balance each of the following. You have 2 minutes. Try to make. Number 1, Fe plus HCl gives FeCl2 plus H2. Fe, 1 atom, 1 atom. Cl, 2, so we must have 2. H is 2, so this is correct. Number 2, who can answer? Just open your mic and answer. How many atoms of Zn? How many atoms? Unmute yourself.
Sir, B.
Number B, this is right. How many atoms? Zn?
Sir, you don't change anything in the equation. It's already balanced.
Balance it. Okay, this is right. 1, 1, SO4, SO4, and H2. This is right. Number 3, Ca, and then How many H's in products? The total number of atoms in reactants must be equal to the total number of atoms in products. So 1 Ca and 1 Ca. How many H's? How many hydrogen?
4.
4. So we must have 2. And then how many oxygen? 2. So this 2. Okay. Number 4, Al. We have 2. So we must have 2. Cr2. So we must have 2. 3O, 3O. Fe2. So we must have 2. C is 1C. Oxygen, we have 3 and 1 is 4. If we have 2, the number of carbon not to be balanced. So we must change. If we have 3 carbons and 3 carbons. How many atoms of O? 3 plus 3, 6. 3 multiplied 2 is 6. Na2. How many atoms of Na? 2. So we must have 2. 2 H's and 2 H's. So we have 4. So we must have 2. How many sulfate? SO4? 1 and 1. And then 1 carbon, 1 carbon. For oxygen, 2 multiplied 3 is equal to 6. And we have 2 carbons, 2 carbons. So we must have 2 carbons. How many oxygen? 6. So we have 4 and 2, 6. Sulfate and sulfate. So take care that the number before any compound, common factor for all elements inside. C8, so we must have 8. H18, so we must have 9. And then the number of oxygen, 8 multiplied to 16. 16 plus 9 equal 25. So we must have 25 over 2. In this case, especially, you have 2 options. We can write it at decimal or fraction 25 over 2. It is correct. And also you can make all the equation multiplied by 2. Both are correct. So we can make 2, 25, 16, and 18. This is also correct. Fe3, so we have 3. O4, so we must have 4. And for H's, we have 4 multiplied by 2, 8, so we must have 4. PP, 1 atom and 1 atom. NO3, we have 2. We have 1, so we must have 2. Ag2, so we have 2. After that, Ag and Ag. NO3, we have 2, so we must have 2. 2 Ag, so we have 2. Mg, Mg. Cl2, we have 2. C3, so we must have 3. H8, so we must have 4. And then 4 O's and 6 O's, so we have 10. 3 multiplied 2, 6 plus 4, 10. So we must have 5 times 2 to be 10. This is for balancing equation. After that, for ideal gases, we must have to know PV equal nRT. P is a pressure. And you must know that the pressure is equal to 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to 76 centimeter mercury equal 760 millimeter mercury. This is the pressure. For the volume, is equal to decimeter cubed or liter. And if we have centimeter cubed or milliliter, we must divide by 1,000 to be decimeter cubed. After that, for temperature, must be with Kelvin is equal to Celsius plus 273. N is the number of moles is equal to mass over molar mass. And R is a constant equal 0.082. Okay, so for ideal gases, you must know that we have PV equal nRT. P is a pressure. The units for pressure, 1 atmospheric pressure, equal 76 centimeter mercury or 760 millimeter mercury. Volume, decimeter cubed or liter. And if we have centimeter cubed or milliliter, must be divided by 1,000 to be decimeter cubed. Temperature, Celsius plus 273 to be Kelvin. N is the number of moles equal mass over molar mass. R is a constant equal 0.082. And also, if we have comparisons, V1 over T1 equal V2 over T2, you must know that. Pressure is directly proportional with temperature. Volume is directly proportional with temperature. Pressure is inversely proportional with the volume. This means that in case of if we have constant value of any one, how can we use the law? V1 over T1 equal V2 over T2. In case of at constant temperature. So no need for temperature. V1 equal V2. At constant pressure, no need for the pressure. So it will be V1 over T1 equal V2 over T2. Number 3, at constant volume, V1 will be removed. So we have V1 over T1 equal V2 over T2. And pressure, if you have the pressure with atmospheric pressure, so it is equal to 1 atmospheric pressure and is equal to 76 centimeter mercury, is equal to 760 millimeter mercury. It depends on the unit. If you are using millimeter mercury, so the number equal to 760. If we are using centimeter mercury, equal 76. If we are using atmospheric pressure, it must be 1. So the unit must be used in pressure, atmospheric pressure, or centimeter mercury or millimeter mercury. For example, if we have any number by centimeter mercury, so it must be divided by 76. If we have with millimeter mercury over 760, if you have atmospheric pressure as it is. For the volume, if we have the volume was decimeter cubed or liter as it is. If you have the volume with centimeter cubed or milliliter, you must divide by 1,000 If you have temperature with Celsius, you must add 273.
المانوميتر عندنا we have two idea if the manometer is open or closed. What I mean by open or closed, I mean if it has connection with atmospheric pressure or not. How do we know? If you said vacuum, this means there is a negative pressure, which means I have no connection with atmospheric pressure. Another that is open end. Okay, let's start with closed manometer. In both closed or open manometer, the water level at the start will be at the same level until I open the valve to the gas to the fuse. In this situation, the change will occur. How it depends? It's opened or closed manometer. If it's closed, no atmospheric pressure effect on this area. So the gas will make a pressure to push the water from this end. We will assume that was the level at the start. The gas will push the water from this end to this end, so the water will rise about H height. So in closed manometer, the gas pressure were equal to the H. و H أنا أقصد بيها طبعا الهايت of water rise. Okay. Second option, at the start with the level was the same, but if I open the valve and the level of the water stays the same, what does this mean? This means there is no gas to exert pressure on this end. So gas pressure were equal to 0. So, as this first question, if the difference between height of A and B was 120 millimeter mercury, the height, which H, at the start we say that the level of the water at the both of the end will be the same. So this all the H. He said H 120 millimeter mercury. He said it's vacuum, so it's closed ended. So gas pressure will equal to H, will equal 120 millimeter mercury. So this is the first question. The second question says that the atmospheric pressure is 660, but he says it's a vacuum. So the atmospheric pressure has no effect in this situation. So I neglect it. Gas pressure were equal to H. He says there is both of the end are the same. H be equal 0. Gas pressure equal 0. This means there is no gas here or there was a leak of the gas bottle or gas bottle. What about if I talked about open end? open-ended, we said that atmospheric pressure exert pressure, and the gas also exert pressure. Both of them are opposing to each other. So I should ask myself a question. Who is more stronger? At the start, water level will be at the same level. If gas pressure was stronger than atmospheric pressure, so it will push from this end and the water rise will rise at this end. So this means that gas pressure equal the atmospheric pressure, he could beat it plus H. In the second situation, if the atmospheric pressure was more stronger or higher, this will exert pressure from this end to rise the water at this end. So the atmospheric pressure will be higher than the pressure of the gas. At this situation, the pressure of gas is equal the pressure of ATM minus H. If there is no change in the level of the water, this means that the gas of the pressure of the gas will equal the pressure of ATM, will equal 760 millimeter mercury or 1 ATM according to the finding he gave me in the question. So I repeat again for the last time. Any manometer question, I'll ask myself, the first question is, it's closed or open-ended? Closed, so the gas pressure were equal to H. If it's open, I'll ask myself my second question. If ATM was higher than gas pressure, how will I know from the rise? If the rise was at the ATM pressure, this means that the gas pressure is more than ATM pressure. If the rise was at the gas chamber end, this means that the atmospheric pressure is more or higher than the gas pressure. If gas pressure is higher than the atmospheric pressure, so gas pressure will equal ATM plus H. If the atmospheric was higher, so gas pressure will equal ATM minus H. If there is no change at the level of the water, this means that the gas pressure equal ATM. I think Dr. Sherif.
دكتور ماهر.
اعتقد الحاجه كده قلت كل حاجه اصلا باقيه في الفايل، فهو ده الحاجه اللي كانت ناقصه الوحيده.
طيب اوكي. اوكي شباب، ان شاء الله هتلاقوا الريكوردينج زي ما اتفقنا، ان شاء الله هيكون موجود عندكم بتاع السيشن نفسها، ان شاء الله هيبقى موجود على الجوجل كلاس روم. هنعمل لكم السيشن نفسها الريكوردينج بتاعها، وهتلاقوا معانا الفايل كله ان شاء الله على جوجل كلاس روم. بعد ما السيشن ان شاء الله دلوقتي تخلص هبعت لكم اللينك بتاع الجوجل كلاس روم. Try to join in the Google Classroom, and then you will get all papers and videos. See you soon, inshallah. Thanks for you.